Hi guys, welcome back to Kaya Plus channel. I think today we're also going to touch on a little bit, quite a sensitive topic. I think this news cropped up and it actually caught our attention. And I think there are a lot of perspective to it. Um, there's going to be people who agree with the numbers or the trend, and there's going to be people from the other spectrum that does not agree with it. So just to bring you guys through on what is actually the topic for today is I would say, alarming amount of students who fail or skip their SPM from 2019 until 2021. So why is that something that we want to talk about? Is that because um, I mean, back then, Jumbeng, if you remember, we only know what to focus on during secondary school. The only thing that we need to focus on was to study hard and get good grades, because that was the prerequisite to enter into a degree that you want and a university that you want. So, of course, after we go through university days, there are more, flavors coming into our life. We learn more also because it's the first time we go out to consider ourselves going up to the society. But prior to that, I still remember I spent almost all my life in typing, and I only started to step out of typing after graduating from secondary. And back then, all I only knew what to do was to study and get the best grade to my own capability. But now we are seeing the news where there is a huge number of students that actually fail and don't even want to take their SPM. So, how does that actually change, or what do you actually think about that?
I think things have changed quite a bit. Although we are not technically very old. I mean, we are like early to mid 30s. We can consider us as a late 80s because we are both 1989, right? But uh, to focus on what have changed since then is last time we tend to see education is one of the clear way out. So if you wanted to achieve something, let's say you come from a very poor family or even middle income, education is one of the best way for you to break through.
Escape. Yeah.
Be you wanted to get a better life, receive a better recognition from the societies, I mean, manage to actually improve your living style. All these things, education is like one of the best way, and it's a proven way. But then after I would say, especially this few year, with COVID also accelerated part of the things. There is a lot more avenue that allow people to see they can actually achieve something there. So what is a few things like there's a popular term called gig economy that pop up this few year, or in a higher level view, this is like self-employed. So you don't work for anyone, you basically do freelance. And then, of course, freelance, to my view, a lot of time is like you are the freelance photographers. So you still have a core or very niche skill, and then you sell your time, and then you get back something. Then eventually, after from freelance, you set up your studio and so on. But I
Yeah.
think this thing, it become a little bit different. Now, gig economy seems to be things like become a Grab driver, become Grab riders, become food panda riders, which it doesn't need a core skill. Uh, you basically just spend time and then you get back what I mean you get back the money. I think this is a bit alarming because we come out as a degree a bachelor degree owner, and then we get our jobs. You can actually climb up the things. But if you are a pure gig economy earner with jobs like Grab rider, I'm not looking down on this job. It's a job that actually contribute to a lot of significant needs from the people. But it's just if you wanted to plan something for a future, this it can be quite challenging because the it's about time. So the more time you spend outside uh and basically sending the food to people, you basically get paid accordingly. no matter how many years you do at it, you can be very good at it. You know where to
Yeah.
stand, but it won't change. So this is some of the alarming thing that I see. One of the angle, but I would say another angle is quite special. Maybe Japan can elaborate more. Is they tend to have a lot of fake impression that beside gig economy, I just become influencer and I can earn a lot of money. I can see this through Instagram and so on. So this is another reason why people think that education is not important. There are other avenue for us to go out. Maybe Japan can share something
Um,
about
yeah,
it.
I did come across some study that also mentioned that partially one of the main reason that Malaysians do not want to continue to further their studies is because that uh, they don't know what they want to study, right? I mean, going back to our time also, we also roughly know what we want. We were not even 100% sure. And I think a lot of us, like if you're currently an adult, you're working, you're in mid-30s, the chances are what you studied back then, I'm not saying all, but a huge percentage, what you studied back then in your university days does not actually link back to what you're currently practicing. Now you can be a food scientist. I have food scientists friends back in my uni days. They are now with banks. They are now in the creative industry. Only a handful of them actually remain inside the food industry. Even me myself, I'm not currently in the food industry as well. So, but the alarming thing or the scary part is that everyone thinks it's so easy to live an easy life by becoming someone famous on the internet, sharing lifestyle kind of pictures and videos, and then just think that they can actually, spend the rest of their lives living such a splendid life and wonderful life. But I think not to say that it's not glamorous, but I think there's also hard work and effort put inside by the successful influencers that we are looking at, right? So of course, they are behind the scenes. There are probably a lot that actually try and fail, and we do not actually get the opportunity to see their struggles. Only the ones that actually famous right now are the ones that actually have made it. So this is something a bit concerning because there is too much. I think the younger generation gives up too easily and seeks the easy way out because of probably too many options these days as well. But I think the number is just a bit too big to begin with.
Yeah, so I think going back to some of the stat that I showed just now is basically this is studies done by, I mean, Utusan Malaysia. They're saying about 72% of the students, SPM graduating, they don't want to continue their study mainly due to three key reasons, right? So they think they have an opportunity in gig economy, like what we have shared, or they have interest to becoming an influencer on social media. And the most important part is they don't think furthering their studies actually guarantee them with a better jobs. So I think to this point, it also basically echo back on what is actually happening in Malaysia. So one of the interesting number that basically published by Bank Negara is saying right now there's about 26% uh, of it actually of the workforce is actually self-employed and operating independently. So gig economy as a whole can be quite broad. But I believe majority of it is either uh, Grab riders, food partner riders. This should be the majority of the 26%. So the number is showing that people are actually are giving out on education. But I just wanted to share my view. If let's say right now you're not sure about what to do, you just graduate from SPM or you are studying in uni, but you think this is a wrong decision. I just want to make a few points from my personal experience. They're saying education still play a vital role, even though you heard a lot of people saying you basically graduate from engineering, but you work in IT, work in somewhere else. True, I would say a lot of people did that, but you still need to basically go inside a university that train you up with a few things. which I think is very important. So one of it is you need to basically live independently without the proper guidance or proper monitoring from your parents. So right now you're on your own. Your task is to complete your studies so that you can get a job, for example. Basically, you're on your own because no one will look after you day to day. You live independently. You plan your budget. Maybe you receive, let's say, 1,000 allowance per month. You can spend on let's say, the first week, getting good food, go for hot pot, but then you suffer at the end. So all these you need to go through, which I think is very important. Secondly is, it's not about studies. It's about the circle of people that you mix with. So although I would say most of the time you make your best friends during high school, but you make your most important connection in your uni, in my personal opinion. You go inside universities, these are the people that grow up together. I mean, spend a few years together with you. Eventually, you go to mid 30s, let's say mid 40s. These are the guy will be someone. So let's say you go to entry level, become media management, become senior management across different industry. So if you, let's say you want to come out and do your own business, you'll be surprised how many people actually started their business together with a uni mate or even high school mate. So that's why this is a very important to broaden your circles of friends across different industry. And then of course the last one is for me personally is you get to experience anything on your own, because even though you choose a major, but then you can always choose what elective to take. So you need to be responsible of what you are choosing, and then this will basically train you up with the skills to basically take ownership or be accountable to your choice that you have made. So that's why it's important from this aspect. It's not about academy. I mean, those is
Yeah.
important, but then other other part of it is it's an intangible thing that you can get out. I mean, participate inside uni. 4 years
Yeah.
is also quite important. Yeah. I don't know about you, Jupan.
Yeah, I think um, a lot of times people tend to focus too much on the academic part when you go to university. I'm not saying it's not important. It plays an important role, but it is not 100% or even 90% of your uni life. It probably is just going to be a little bit above 60%, the importance part. Because if you look at it, and there are a lot of successful examples, even the multi-billionaires right now, in the likes of Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, they went to uni. Right? They went to uni and they meet a bunch of friends, and they came up with something as a brilliant idea and said that, okay, I think we can actually come up, we can stop studying, and then we come up, we drop out, and then we work on this idea and see whether it can become a next thing or not, the next big business, which they actually succeeded. So far, there isn't anyone that I can think, or maybe there are, but if you look at the Silicon Valley big tech companies, those that have, you know, uh, dropout CEOs, they also went to university. They just happened to meet the right person there, they meet the right, person to provide them financial capital, etc. And from there only they managed to grow to become a successful multi-billionaire. Not to say that it's impossible to start a business without a degree or going to the university, but your connection is going to be far less compared to someone who has gone to university, because there are a lot of activities, there are a lot of opportunities to rub shoulders with politicians, business owners when you actually go to uni. So the academic part is important, but these side activities that happen in the uni, the friends that you make, is actually a very intangible kind of benefit when you go to university. So this is actually what I also think of as well. And sometimes when I think back, I used to be someone who spends less time at the uni, because studying in Penang, hometown was just 1 hour away. I usually would just spend my weekends back at hometown. looking back, I think that there could be much more opportunities for me if I were a bit more adventurous. I was a bit more outgoing during my uni days. But that's it. But after I come out and I learn to see things from a bigger picture, I do think that university is actually a very important part of our lives.
Yeah. So I mean, taking from here, I do think that Malaysia education, of course, there are a lot of critics talk about. We are not going to cover this part of the things. What we plan to cover is there's that a lot of dropout. People tend to think that education is no longer important. They want. I mean, it's quite weird that. I mean, last time when we were small, I mean, our ambition is to become an astronaut, become doctors. You will laugh at us because we are Asian. That the parents taught us to do so. But like it or not, I think it indeed is an ambition for a lot of people. I mean, maybe our time back then, it is a respectable job, uh, decent income, and so on. But right now, when I go back for gatherings, they are the younger generations. They want to be a TikToker. They want to be influencer, which I don't think. I think it's all right with all these things. It just this thing is changes so much that you the guys there are missing the point because there's so much influencer across Malaysia. You can say so much, but if you basically compare against the entire population, it's just this one out of maybe 10,000 is a successful one. The rest, you can dream about it, and then
Yeah.
you'll face a reality. But think
Yeah.
about it, if you straight away go to pursue your dream as an influencer, and then you become a dropout, not even attending university. You basically got nothing, you don't have any skill. And then when you realize it's ain't that easy to become an influencer, then you have no choice. You become gig, you participate in gig economy, you become a grab riders, and then you got stuck. You just work very hard, but you cannot go up
Yep.
anymore.
Yep.
So this is a few alarming things. So to follow up on this, I think we have shared this in our last video as well. Is about this interesting stats coming from KWSP. If you guys are interested, you guys can go for this Belanjawanku and then space KWSP. You should be able to get the reports. So the interesting part about this thing is they basically zoom into every single state or area and then try to come up with a persona on what is the so-called median or minimum amount they need to basically survive in the city. So for example, if you're single, using public transport, you need about 2,000. If you're a car owner, basic car, you need about 2006. Think about it. If you wanted to be an influencer, you fail, and then you become a gig rider, I mean, a Grab rider, you are going to face this on and on. The only thing that you can break through is you work 7 days. You wake up early in the morning, which is a bit sad in a way. So this is some of the fact we just wanted to share. Education is not as simple as last time anymore. You study hard, you get a degree, you get a job. It's become harder and more challenging, but this is still your fundamental thing to work on
Yeah.
before you can talk about anything else. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know about you, Jupan.
Yeah, I think somehow or rather, even if you hate it or not, we still need to climb the corporate ladder a bit because no one wants to. Okay, put it this way: if given a choice, given the freedom, no one wants to work odd hours because people would rather, lead a normal life, like go to bed on time, you wake up on time, you spend a normal day at work, 8 to 5, 9 to 6. No one likes OT, right? I mean, you can have passion for a job, but sometimes you need to, overwork a bit to rush for some things, but it cannot be on a permanent basis for you to work 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours for a long period of time. You will feel burnt out, and then you will question the meaning of life because you're spending so much time at work, you don't get to enjoy time with family or get to really enjoy life itself. So no one wants to spend too much time at work. The best is to work as least time as possible and to get the best returns out of that time and effort you put in. But a lot of time people just overthink and or think it's too easy to just manage your personal lifestyle, become an influencer because it just looks like people are just enjoying when they post their photos of going to vacation, going shopping, etc. Like that. But I think if you really do understand the industry and you really do dig deeper on how influencers actually manage their selves and even their schedules, they are always also very busy. It's just that we only see the fancy part of it only. And if that fails, you end up in a vicious circle, right? You become a gig economy participant. Not to say it's not good, it's good temporarily if you don't have a job. But if you think for a longer period of time, your commission structure can get changed by Grab, Foodpanda at any time as they want, right? And to think about it, let's say every day you are putting in 10 hours to work on a gig economy, right? You have been earning a stable structure or stable fee per trip so whatsoever, and you are happy and comfortable with it. But then somewhere down the road, something changed, the fee structure gets reduced, your commission percentage get reduced. Then suddenly you're find out that you're short in terms of income. It's not that you're not working, it's just that so happened that these big companies, these gig economy service providers, they too want to report good earnings and better earnings, and somehow they will actually look at the time frame and they will actually optimize their fees and commissions to the gig economy participants out there. So if that happens, then you are really going to get trapped in a vicious cycle where you have a monthly fixed expense, monthly budget that you need to cover because of commitments or whatsoever, and then this kind of thing happens. So going back to a normal office work, no one wants to get a pay cut, right? You put in effort, you put in time to finish a particular job and a responsibility. Every year we want to actually have increment. We also want to have a better bonus, but this does not seem to happen right now to the gig economy participants. So this is something that they might need to also think twice and thrice about it. It is something that you can do for long term if you can cap your spending habits to a particular level. But if you want to, improve your living standards, improve your lifestyle, there could be a little bit of challenge there right now, according to my opinion.
Yep. So there's some of the stats being shown. Of course, the simple conclusion is, of course, the education level have direct impact to your income, especially during your first job. Of course, there are outlier. People become
Yep.
famous in social media over time. But I would say this is like one in 1,000 or 1 in 10,000, right? So it's important that this is basically an entry ticket for most of the people.
Yep.
Like it or not, your starting pay have a cascading effect down the road.
Mm.
So for example, if you work hard and then during your uni and then you score with flying color, you start your job at, let's say, 4,000 per month, for example, if you're super good, right? And then one, 2 year down the road, you get 10%, 20% increment. So the 10% and 20% increment versus another guy that doing okay, but then didn't manage to get a good job, become 2005. It's a 400 ringgit versus 250 ringgit difference. Same guy, go into the same industry, different company, for example, but then let's say they get the same treatment, the standard 10% increment after 2 years. It's a 400 versus 250. So like it or not, this particular entry ticket, it make a difference. So that's
Yep.
why, despite all these other intangible value that we have mentioned, this is a hard copy of the tickets that help you to secure your first paycheck, and your first paycheck level will have a good I mean, to a certain degree, it will actually shape your first 5 years of your life after
Yeah.
graduation. So
Yeah.
so these are some of the facts to take note. And then of course, we won't talk a lot more about then where should I go, which industry is
Mm-hmm.
better. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, there are some information that you can follow. Let's say to look into what is the average monthly salary uh, uh, from different industry, and then all this is just reference. Like it or not, things change. So ultimately, you basically receive your education uh, so that you know how to be disciplined, pick up something, learning how to learn a skill to solve a problem. Of course, after you master all these things, you can move around in different industry. So don't think that right now because AI is a boom, I just go and study AI because you think someone will need it. The answer is no, because back then my day I go and study engineering, nanotechnology, but end up I didn't persuade the things. So this also one thing that I wanted to share. Ultimately, your value to the societies is basically determined by a few things. I mean, in a very layman term, you wanted to find the intersection point. So the first circle is what you like to do. You like you like to take photos, but the second circle is what you can do. You like to take photo, but then your photography skill sucks. So if this thing is not intersection, then the third circle is whether this thing is required by someone or not, your service, your skill. So you like it, but you can't do it well, people won't need it. Okay, so this is one example. Another one is you like it, you can do it well, people don't need it. So you like to play game. You play you can basically do it well. You play it and you always get a high score. But there isn't a job for it. So ultimately, finding something that you like is not the ultimate answer. So there's a lot of things that actually sway away of the younger generation that think I just need to find something that I have patience, then I will be succeed. I can be successful in my life. But the fact is not. So you need to find the three intersection. You like it, you can do, and people need it. So without these three intersection, it will result in different thing. You like, you're happy, but then you don't get paid. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, most of the people is you can do it, people need it, but then you don't like it. But this is reality because you
Yes,
need that
really.
to get a life. So if you don't know what you like, they can make you happy. At least you go and do something that you can do. People need it, and then gather enough savings so that you can find something that you like. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know about you, Jupan.
Yeah, I think this is something called the Ikigai circle. So you can actually Google and look for it. IKIGI. So it's just finding the meaning of life to find something that you like to do, something that can earn you money and something that you're really good at. So you can find something that you can actually find all these three uh, variables of function intersecting together, then life should be relatively happy for you. You're earning well, you can enjoy life, and what you do gives you happiness. But of course, life is not perfect. A lot of times, I think most of the people around us, we actually are stuck in the what we can do and what people need. Yeah, we are doing our jobs as required, get paid, but we are not like 100% happy all the time. So it is an ongoing journey, ongoing life experience. It's not something that you reach by by age of 30 or 40. Maybe it's a lifelong kind of experience. You will actually find that somewhere down the road, different people have different passion that they want to pursue in life. So I think to go back to the actual topic and the actual discussion is that, like it or not, happiness is something very vague, right? Some and you really cannot really know what can give you happiness and also pays you well. But at least you have wild ideas, you have very high risk taking capabilities. You still need to do a little bit of protection. Just ensure you get a degree, right? In once you finish a degree, you can do whatever you want. You can do a startup. You can, start up your own business. If that fails, at least that degree will help you find a stable job for you to, boost up your savings, for you to, recoup back, think what went wrong with your initial business. And then once you have enough savings and enough, coverage to restart and go out and start up a new business again, at least there is a choice. There is always a part two, part three, part four, because the degree actually is your last resort to getting a stable paying job when life does not go the way you want. If you don't have that, then yeah, it will be a little bit tougher. You can actually still, temporarily go to a gig economy to, manage day-to-day life requirements. But how long can you do that is the big question that I think everyone needs to think about before they actually, make irrational decisions. So I think that's about it for today. I hope that you find this topic or this current scenario happening in Malaysia a bit scary and a bit too alarming, because back then I don't think I am someone who loves studying, but come on, when you reach adulthood and you look back, sometimes it's just a very sensible thing to continue your studies first before you make any wild and high risk kind of movements, and to pursue things that can actually burn you very bad in your life. So yeah, I think that's about it. Should make anything that up?
Yeah, I also basically posted, I mean, this one's for reference. It is a so-called top 10 job vacancy on My Future Jobs. You can search for it. The interesting thing is there are a lot of job vacancy anyway. Of course,
Mm.
you may think of it, people unemployment rate is high in Malaysia or whatnot. But the fact is there are a lot of jobs. It's just a lot of people don't want to take it because
Yeah.
it can be because it's dangerous,
Dirty and
dirty.
difficult.
Yeah.
The 3D
So
jobs.
then you outsource it to foreign workers, things like that. I
Yeah.
mean, nothing wrong about it, but then there is always a place for you to contribute and get paid. Don't always value something because you have passion on it or not. Passion is something that can be nurtured as well. So you need to face the reality that you like it, you may not able to do it. You like it, people may not need it. So it's very important that out of all these things that you wanted to do, you need to basically do something that you are required to do. So for me, picking up life skill is the fundamental things. You happy, not happy, you also need to pick it up first, because without that, you may not even able to survive. So it's not just about pursuing the dream, pursuing a happiness. I mean, the reality can be quite cruel, but if you don't face the reality earlier, you will suffer the more later. So this is some of the things I wanted to share before we end our session today.
Yeah. So I think we have actually covered quite a few, I would say, thought-provoking topics. If you are actually viewing this one first, do check out one video that we talk about the income uh, power, income levels of a Singaporean, from Singaporean perspective and also from Malaysian perspective, and how Malaysians working in Singapore will find hard to come back to Malaysia. So we'll leave the link somewhere in the video. And of course, if you do have other topics that you want us to talk about, discuss, do feel free to let us know in the comment section. And last but not least, if this video is beneficial, please give it a thumbs up, share it to your friends, families, relatives, and also turn on the notification button so that you get notified when we post our videos. So I think we'll end here. We'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.